So good evening, everybody. This is Craig Blanchett, and I'm a optimal health coach, and it's my privilege to bring you our weekly healthy huddle every week from 6 to 6:30 Pacific time. If you're watching this on YouTube or one of the broadcasts, you can join us live every week. You have to tune in at the right time, and you can be here with the rest of us. But you go to zoom.us. And then you'll have a choice to create a meeting or join a meeting. And you want to click join a meeting, and then you want to click on this number. It's actually our meeting number is 503-974-1671. And so at 6 p.m. West Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast time, we're here on Tuesdays. So we usually go from 6 to 7. We kind of have a little bit of a change in content at the bottom of the hour. But anyway, tonight for our Healthy Huddle, we're going to be talking a little bit about different types of summer exercises and activities. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this drink that I found. It's pretty tasty, and it looks like it's pretty good so far. But let's see if we have some folks tonight that are first-timers that haven't been here in a while. Looks like everybody has been here before. So a bunch of veterans. So that's kind of fun. I just finished up a meeting with David Bush, and we are hosting the next challenge. And so it hasn't started yet. It's early registration right now. This one's going to be a 4-week challenge, and it's the summer shape up challenge. Couple nice things about this particular challenge that are different is we have daily motivational blasts. We also have like some pop-ups that'll come up that'll ask you a question. You have to interact with it. Yes, no, maybe, whatever like that. So it gives you, and then if you click on no or yes, then it'll give you more information based upon how you answered. So it's a little bit cool interaction and interactive with that goes. And another thing that I've been challenging people to do is to join yourself and then set a goal like a team of 5 people. I want to invite 5 people to join my team. And it's pretty awesome and pretty simple how to do that. I'm going to share my screen here and show you guys exactly kind of what that looks like, because this is a really simple process that you can do that will actually, you'll be amazed at how your team can grow through this process. So let's see here. So this is the challenge, and what you can do here is we have 975 challengers, so we've got almost 20 grand in the pocket. It starts on 11, 12, 13th, so Monday the 13th. You can weigh in 2 days early, and what you could go down here to where it says invite. So the only points you can get right now are invitation points. There's no other points really available yet. But when you click on invite, here's the cool thing. So you got this is my personal link, so I can send that out to people. I can use the Meltdown Challenges technology and put a name and an email here and select one of these templates and then send out. I get points for doing it that way. But here's a really nice thing. Click on share your invite on Facebook. What this does is it creates a special graphic that has your link, this link up here, embedded in it. Let me see here, new share. Let me show you what that looks like. So it pops up this window here, and this graphic has your link already. So if someone clicks on the graphic, it's going to automatically link them to you. And I would say something up here at the top like this. Hey, I've, decided to enter a team in a summer health challenge, whatever challenge. And then what you can do is say, I have a goal of having 5 people on my team, and right now I've got 4 slots available. Basically it's just you. And who wants to join me? And then throw it out there on Facebook. And you'll have 1 or 2 people that'll say, tell me more about it, and they might join. Then do exactly the same thing with them. Have them throw it on a Facebook. hey, I've joined a team. We've got 2 people and we need 5. Who wants to join me? And your team will just fill up. You know, actually, you'll probably hit your 5, and then you're going to be like, maybe I should have said 10, right? So we've done that. I did that a number of challenges. I did teams of 10, and I had 5 teams of 10 by the end of 2 weeks. And here's the crazy part about it. Every time I had somebody join my team from Facebook, I said, do you know anybody who would want to join us? Everybody said no. Every one of them. No, I have no idea. And you know why? Because it's a stupid question. Who would know that kind of information? I don't know people that are looking for a health challenge out there. It's a weird thing to ask, but I know there are. And so by putting it on Facebook and telling people what I've done, people want to join people doing something interesting. And so when I throw it on Facebook, now they know that I've done this, and I'm asking, hey, do you want to join me? We have some slots available. And the team will just organically grow. Any questions about that process? Pretty simple stuff. Now, here's one way it won't work, is if you don't do it. I guarantee it won't work, right? So just click that link to invite, throw it on Facebook, add your little line in there. Hey, I got his team, want to join me? And see where it goes. And I bet you people will ask questions and want to know more about it. And if you've been in a challenge, I mean, the main things that are different, 4 weeks, 4%, you can lose 4% or more, or 4% or less. So you can go either category. The maintenance category is 4% or less, but you can't gain more than 1%. And we have a new thing. It's a pregnancy waiver. So if you're pregnant, you don't have to mess with the weight. You can just do points. So some people get pregnant during the challenge, or they're right before the challenge. And so that kind of helps with those people, that they can still play and do that. So that's a couple ideas about the challenge. And what I was thinking about doing is, like, when people join, people that you joined, you can go to your name and just in front of your first name, put like AA or something like that. And then everybody that you invited, they put a little thing in front of their name. And that way you can tell really easily on our team who was part of your team. So we have AA, BB, CC. And then when we look at the top 10, if there's a bunch of AAs in there and you know that's all your team, you're like, what's up, team? We're killing it, right? That way you can sort of have the semblance of a team within our big team. So anyway, so any specific questions about that? Makes sense? Make sure we get that real clear. Because the one thing that will change your health more than anything, any exercise program, any sleeping program, any diet way of eating, what's the one thing that's going to help you to stay healthiest the longest? Anybody know the answer to that?
Yeah, being part of a group.
Mm-hmm. It's like, if you don't change your community, you either can change your community by getting a new one, or you can change your community by inspiring them and helping them to get healthier. You can change it, but you got to change your community or you will not last. I dare you, try it. Statistics say it won't work. So you could be the catalyst to change lots of people. Imagine if you were a friend of the person that's about to put this Facebook link out, and you said, sure, I'll give that a try. And a few months down the road, that person's no longer diabetic. Maybe they can play with their grandkids again. Maybe they can have children. Maybe, who knows, they can run. Who knows what it might be. But what if you were on the receiving end of this strategy?
Vein suit.
What's that? Who's that?
So a quick question, Kurt, if you when you can. So I didn't get the very last part about the putting the letter, and the name, because the link is already created, right? Right.
Once they join, you get to put your name in there so you see who you are. You can just add a couple digits in front of your name
Got it.
0-1, 0-2, but just have everybody add the same 0-1, and that way you all can distinguish that they're part of your team. It's just a way of naming it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. You could put Team Awesome Dean, right? That's right. So excellent. There's a couple other things I wanted to talk about today. Is summer's coming. And so I was talking to another person today, and she had hit a plateau because we were talking about exercise, and people mean different things when it comes to exercise. If we talk about movement, some people, for me, exercise means something different than some of you, right? Because I race. So exercise to me is racing, like bring it. That's what exercise is for me. Some of you, it's going for a walk in the mornings. Some of you might do Zumba, or you might do kickboxing or cycling, who knows? But so exercise is very broad, and we all have a certain perspective of what we mean by that. And so movement is maybe a better word than exercise. Because if you do too much, you can't improve on the 5 and 1. And if you have too much output, your body can't go more than 100% output. And so it shuts down. So this person stopped exercising for a week and lost 5 pounds, had been a plateau for 2 weeks. Last week's huddle was actually created based upon some dialogue that we were having with this person that was at a plateau. And guess what? She stopped exercising, just went back to some mild walking, lost 5 pounds the next week. Ding, 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 ding. So that's why it's the Goldilocks idea of exercise. Too little, too much. Want to get it just right. And usually walking is plenty. Any comments about, I'm curious what you guys think about exercise and what's too much, what's not enough. If you had any problems with plateaus, things like that. Ready, go. Yes, Parrish. Let me unmute you.
Thank you. So that would be during the time when you want to get to that optimal weight, because it just sounds funny, because otherwise exercise should be a good thing and you should want to do as much as you can, really. But is this just keeping it just right, mostly for when you're trying to get down to that optimal weight then?
Yeah. Exactly. When you're on the 5 and 1, the 5 and 1 has guidelines at how much output you can have and how much fuel your body can produce to fuel it. And the 5 and 1 takes your conversion of fat to energy up to 100% efficiency. So it can't do 101%. You can't go more than the max. And so if you've added exercise and you're requiring more, like say you're doing an hour Zumba, there's a guideline, 30 to 45 minutes of maybe brisk walking would be fine for most people. So you have to keep it in that safe zone. But if you do too much and your body can't produce more than 100%, now you've overpowered the 5 and 1, so your body shuts down and it says, sorry, I can't. I just am trying to survive right now, and I don't know what you're doing to me, right? And so now different people can do different amounts. I'm able to actually do quite a bit more intensity because I've trained my body to be very efficient at things. And so I can get more output out of burning fat. But some people can't. And so we start on the safe side, and then you can move it up. Now, here's the cool thing. The 5 and 1 is a temporary program. Ding, 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 ding. And that is something we got to drill into our heads, because a lot of us think that learning the 5 and 1 means you've learned this new diet, and that's all you need to know. And people often get tripped up on that. They think if I know the 5 and 1, I don't need to know anything else. The 5 and 1 was never designed for optimal health. It is a very safe and effective weight loss program that is a springboard into a healthy lifestyle, right? You can start with the healthy lifestyle and really be overweight you're still not healthy. So we get you to the healthy weight and we build the healthy lifestyle along the way, because both are necessary for you to really be optimally healthy. So that was a long-winded way. We covered a lot of things, but yeah, the 5-in-1 has tolerances as to how much exercise you can have and still be effective with the 5-in-1. And if you go outside of that, I haven't seen people go less. 0 up to a certain point is all good. But once you go beyond that point, it shuts down. But I haven't seen the 5-in-1 be less effective for people that don't work out. But you're not practicing healthy habits. And we want to establish some of those. So some mild walking is a really good thing to do. Maybe some push-ups, some sit-ups, and some squats in the morning. That's not very, we do these things called 10s. 10 push-ups or 10 planks, 10 squats, and 10 sit-ups, so push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. And those will take very little time, and they're not going to be very strenuous, and that can help you with a little bit of strength training. Do a little walking. Instead of driving to the mailbox, walk there. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. So start adding these little things in, and they won't look like exercise because they're non-exercise activities, healthy lifestyle living activities. So, yep. More comments about this exercise phenomenon and how tricky that is to have too little, too much? Martin, did you have something you were trying to say earlier? No.
I can say something. Am I muted?
No, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was having technical difficulties is what I was messing with.
No problem.
But I will, it's working with, I'm glad you're kind of covering this topic, or we're covering this topic. It's working with people that are trying to break that mindset. I need to get back to exercise so I can, I've done really well. I've lost my weight. I'm feeling great. So now I can go back to exercise and go back to what I was doing before. And they've thrown out the 80% of exercise, which is this nutrition program that's giving them the kickstart on their success. They're not quite there yet. They can see the goal line, but okay, now I can go back to what I was doing because I can see where I want to go.
Yeah. I've had people that have like 100 pounds to lose, and they get maybe 120 pounds to lose. And then they get the first 20 to 30 to 40 pounds off, and they start feeling so much better. Okay. So they go back to exercise more than what the 5-in-1 can handle. And then they get hungry, so they're eating more, and they just get stuck. And then they quit the 5-in-1, and then they gain all that weight back. And I've been working with a particular client for 3 years now, and she's not any closer today to her goal than she was when we started, because she keeps trying to be this future person when she hasn't built it. And she just has a hard time in her mind not going and riding her bike and doing these 30-mile rides. It's like, no, let's build the body, and then you can do 30-mile rides till you're blue in the face. I mean, till the cows come home. How many other euphemisms can we use? You know, and so you have to just take your time. It's very, very difficult when you have conflicting or competing values. Actually, they're conflicting. Trying to be really healthy and athletic and trying to lose weight and get to a healthy weight oftentimes are conflicting values. And so I say, what if I could guarantee you, if you trusted me and you followed this program, let's get the weight off first for reals. I mean it. Like, so the scale, when you get on it, it really does say the goal weight for reals. And now I'm going to turn you loose on exercise. Go for it. Exercise. How much do you want? Let's get it. I'll teach you how to fuel it. Or we can do it the other way, and for the next 10 years, you'll basically just yo-yo on and off. It's the yo-yo diet or the yo-yo exercise. I don't know. For me, I'd rather really actually get to the healthy weight and be a little patient with the exercise piece.
It's not a hard concept. It's a challenging thing to break, right?
Yes.
And you're looking at me, but I got to get on my bike. And part of that, you know, I had to come to that place where okay, I'm going to get on my bike, but I'm going to do a very gentle ride of 10, 15 miles. It was so hard for me to listen to. Not that I don't like you.
No. I remember working with you, Dean, and you were like, yeah, I just need to go ride. And so there's an element to your riding, which is for mental health. And I was like, just keep it slow. And we modified a couple things to because you needed that to be sane, right? And but we worked together on it, and you were continuing to make progress. And today you're sub 200. What's up? Wonderland. And now we removed that stress in your life. He quit his job, so or retired. So I love that one, right? You're still gonna ride your bike even though you don't need it for the job stress, right? So anyway, so interesting topic, and I want to talk for the few minutes left. My wife found this. It's an all-natural drink. It's called BAI, B-A-I. It's an antioxidant infusion, and it has 5 calories, 1 gram of sugar, 9 grams of carb. So if you're on the 5-in-1, I don't know that I would recommend this, because 9 carbs could take you out of fat burn. Sometimes 9 or 10 could do it. Like if you did one of these, there's 2 servings. Okay. So it's 18 carbs for one of these. So it's still pretty low, 10 calories total. But the sweetener is stevia. So it's a good natural sweetener, and they taste really tasty. No sugar, no artificial sweeteners, antioxidant beverage. We found it at Costco. And since I'm at a healthy weight, I have these once in a while. It's a nice option we just found, because we've been really looking for stuff that doesn't have has low calories and no artificial sweeteners. And it was a challenge to find things for the long term.
Can I ask what if you used that as a flavor infuser and diluted it in, say, 1/2 gallon of water?
That's a good question. I don't know how much flavor. They're pretty flavorful, so that's probably something that would work. Take Shape for Life does have some all natural flavor water infusers. They come in little squirt bottles, and they're all natural. And so there is some options directly from Take Shape. But water, here's a story I'm going to tell you about water. You guys know Betsy, right? Betsy Stevens. So she's 60 or 61 years old, and she does all the hiking. She would hike to the moon and back, I think, if she could. And she's up building a mini cabin up in the woods, and she was on a ladder, and the ground gave way, and so she fell. She broke her pelvis in 2 places. That's why she hasn't been on the call. She's kind of broken her body. She broke her wrist, I think, a few different things. Anyway, when they went into the hospital, the doctors were telling her, we're going to have a whole story about this in the future when she's back. But the doctors couldn't believe. She said she had the body of a 40-year-old, and they couldn't believe she was 60. And she said, she kept telling him, well, I need some more water. And he said, well, how much water do you drink a day? And she says, 100 ounces. And the nurse was like, you really? And the nurse said, do you know how good that is for you? It's like the nurse knew it, but nobody does it. And when she actually talked to somebody that does it, she's like, that's really good for you. Do you know why? Because when your body is healing, your cells go into the damaged area, and it's almost like they have a payload that they deliver. And then if they're not, when their payload has been delivered, that cell becomes toxic, and it can actually rot unless it's flushed out. And so a lot of times the reason why people take so long to recover is because they don't drink enough water to allow the cells to go in and do their work and then flush the remains that become toxic out. So she's doing 100 ounces of water a day. She's healing at a rate of 4 times the normal rate. She's already driving. The doctor said, yeah, you can drive. I don't know how you're doing this. You're like super. And that's just one. I mean, she called Take Shape for Life, and she talked to Nick Fry, and she asked him, I can't be on the 5-in-1 probably. He verified that. And so he put her on a 4-in-2 and water and all these different things. And so she's like killing it on her recovery. And we're going to have a whole program interviewing Betsy on how this chronologically older woman who's biologically getting younger by the minute. And awesome stuff. So water, so my point there is water, man, you just can't go wrong with it. And it's a daily thing. You can't drink 200 ounces tomorrow and make up for the 100 you missed yesterday, right? It's 80 to 100 every day. Just love yourself and drink that water.
Resiliency that chapter 6 talked about.
Yeah. Yep. So awesome. Well, we're going to finish up the first part here, and I'll be right back, and we're going to start our second episode.